I hope you're ready.
This is Unbridled Thoughts.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Welcome back to Unbridled Thoughts. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ren, and you better grab the mane because there are no reins in Unbridled Thoughts. And we're here today with Kimberly Morris, who is the author of The Big Loop, an amazing children's book that is about roller coasters, which I'm so excited about.
I know, we're so excited.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
So, to kick it off, is this the very first book that you've ever written?
This is the first children's book I've ever done. So,
First children's or first book?
well, first book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is writing is not really my thing. My husband's actually done. He's been a published author twice, and for his poetry that he's done.
Oh, cool.
But
So sorry. We don't necessarily film live. However, in the recording, we got bombarded on. So we don't know what's happening right now.
We got some positive energy flowing. It's just attracting everybody.
Yep, we're dragging everybody into our dark center since the lights are out due to storms.
Yes.
All right. So your husband actually is a published author.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
yeah, so I think he kind of inspired a little bit of that in me. He's always said that he wanted to be a children's book author. So when I presented him with the idea that I had, he was like, "Wait a minute, that was supposed to be my thing." So I kind of stole that, but his stuff's a little bit different. So. But yeah, super exciting. Something I never thought I would have done before, but I'm really glad I did push through and have this really cool book to show for it. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited about it.
I love it.
So when did your love of writing start?
So really, for me, in school, like writing was just really not my thing. But I feel like the situation that happened. So the book is based on my son and his first time going on an upside down roller coaster, and I feel like that story kind of playing out in real life is what inspired me to want to write this book. So other than that, I really never would have seen myself do anything like this before. But
I love that analogy. That's awesome. That is so sweet.
And writing's not your career choice. What is your Monday through Friday job?
So I'm a nurse at the hospital locally. So definitely, yeah, way different than than writing. But I do love kids, and I work with kids a lot in my current job. So I don't know. It's just something that really is cool to me. So
Yeah. And then roller coasters seems to be like a really cool hobby you have too, like riding roller coasters. When did that start?
So as a kid, I was completely afraid of roller coasters. My aunt actually took me to Wild Adventures, and I got on the boomerang with her out of a lot of convincing. And I remember getting off, and she looked over at me like, she's going to love it. She's going to love it. And I didn't. I was terrified, and I did not want to get back on it. But I feel like I always was really intrigued about roller coasters, like the mechanics of them and just the different types of roller coasters. And then as I got older, me and my husband, we went on a family vacation to Disney, and we got on Everest, Animal Kingdom. And my mom was there with us, and she's like, y'all just ride something together, just the two of y'all. And we got on together, and we're like riding it. We're just both laughing and having the best time. And we both looked at each other at the end, and we were like, you like roller coasters? And so anyways, from there, I ended up booking, getting some tickets to go to Six Flags Over Georgia. And we went there, rode some roller coasters for his birthday. And we just fell in love, especially with Twisted Cyclone. It's a old wooden roller coaster that they revamped and made it way more fun than it used to be. And I feel like once we got on that particular type of roller coaster, that's what kind of set us off. Like from that point forward, we were like, we just want to go and like ride all these type of roller coasters and just kind of see what's out there. So, and our kids love it too, which is a plus. I think if they really didn't love it, we'd be in trouble. But But yeah, so it's something fun we do together, making memories together, and we really love that. So
Yeah, definitely. I love like the 2 coasters you mentioned are like, you're like, well, I started with these 2, and I'm like, those coasters are like,
Yeah.
they can be intense, but I love them. Like,
Yes.
those are like awesome.
yes, we love them. So the bigger, the better, the funner, the faster. That's what we love. I mean, we even have a trip to Europe this year.
Nice.
And next month that we're going and riding roller coasters. Literally
Wow.
just going to Europe for roller coaster. I mean,
That's awesome though.
seeing the sights and trying foods too. But I mean, for the roller coasters,
Yes.
that's
So
how much we love
exciting.
it. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite roller coaster? Like when you think back, which one do you feel like drawn you miss the most, or?
So our favorite, me and my husband both love Velocicoaster at Universal.
Yeah.
That's our number one. So we
Yes.
love
That's
that.
cool. So let's go ahead and take it like back to who Kimberly was like young. Did you always want to be a nurse? Did you always want to have a family?
I did. Always wanted to be a nurse. I was that kid that watched all those nursing videos on the TV, and my mom also inspired me a lot to do that too. She always wanted to do it, but she just didn't have the finances to go to nursing school, and she would tell you, I'm just not smart enough, but she is. She totally could have done that. But yeah, that was a lot of the reason I became a nurse, and I love it,
Do you?
I love
That's
doing that.
awesome.
And I always wanted a family. Me and my husband, we both wanted kids. 2, I think, is a good number. I think if we would have had 3, that'd have been too much for us. But we love our 2 boys. Yeah, it's fun. We are involved in baseball, and so we love that.
It balances out the roller coaster riding.
For sure. Yeah, gotta have balance.
If you had the third kid, what do you do?
That's right. We wouldn't be able to ride together. Somebody would ride alone.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I wanted to tell you I love about, I mean, your whole book is awesome. The illustrations, the story.
Thank you.
But I'll tell you something that kind of popped out for me. So my mom has been in early childhood education her whole life. So we've always been around children's books. And there's this one part in the book where the little boy he's excited to get on the coaster, but then knows it's going to go upside down, so he's a little nervous. And as he's standing in line, this is kind of the story you told us a moment ago, as he's standing in line, the more time that goes by, the more nervous he gets. And personally, it really hit for me because the emotion I have the hardest time processing is anticipation. But I have never, we had children's books around us all the time. That is the first time I have ever seen an example of a child processing anticipation. It was beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had this book when I was a kid, because this talks about that. It doesn't matter what you're facing. And you see a lot of books about conquering your fears or getting tasks done and feeling that sense of accomplishment. But, for some little minds, the anticipation of either starting a new task or kind of shifting into something different, especially if it's something you've never done before, I really love how you worded that. So speaking of that, can you tell us a little bit about your family and your kiddos and their personalities and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the book is based on my oldest son, and he is very fearful of a lot of things. He's a little bit more timid. Even like socially, he's a little more like uncomfortable. But I do feel like roller coasters has opened that up a lot for him. Now, I mean, I just feel like I've seen so much growth in him with wanting to get on bigger roller coasters, and just even in theme parks, he'll go up and like try to make friends in line and stuff like that. I feel like that's helped him a lot. My youngest is not afraid of anything, and that's why a lot of the book you'll see him throughout it. And a lot of people ask me, why didn't you include him a little bit more? But I mean, he's not afraid of anything. He's literally afraid of nothing. And I love that about him. But it's funny how your kids are so different, You raise them the same, everything, and they're just different kids. But yeah, I don't know. I love that because I feel like his younger brother also encourages him to want to be more brave. And I feel like my oldest is a lot like me. I have a lot of struggles with anxiety, and I feel like I didn't realize that until I started really riding, but a lot of people in the coaster community are very anxious people, and I feel like roller coasters kind of helps them overcome that, because you kind of just have to let go and and just trust, and enjoy the ride.
That's beautiful.
That
I
is
actually
really
never really
cool.
thought about that.
Me
That's
neither.
actually. I need to back it up though, because you hit on two things.
Okay.
One is, I think, that's what the next book has to be about. Then the other kid, like, you're like, can you slow
Yes.
your roll a little bit?
Yeah, that's I want to write one about him. I haven't 100% committed to an idea, but yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where I need to go with that. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Which
then-
is a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah.
Yeah. And I understand what you're talking about, because you're looking at your two kids, you see how different they are, and you'll sit there and you'll be like, how did you two come from the same genes, but you're so different, you know? We had 4 kids, and that's how I felt about every single one. I'm like, how can you take 2 people and like create all these different personalities? You know what I mean? How many genes, how much
Yeah.
DNA is in there? You know what I mean? To change it. But yeah, it's the truth. It's crazy when kids come out. They just come out with their own little
That's right.
unique personality.
That's right.
That'd be awesome. And you can like title it "Slow Your Roller Coaster." I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look,
guys. I
all you
apologize
did
to
is
everybody in
slow.
advance. This is a
Slow your roll,
I'm
slow
just
your roller
promoting
coaster.
Kimberly's new Lazy River book. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why you're friends with me. I'm sorry.
That's exactly why we are friends with you.
Oh my gosh. So you kind of touched on this too, about what started this book. I would love to know a little bit more about the kind of the process of the idea conceptualized into a book, and kind of what that kind of looks like.
Yeah, so basically, as the story played out, I think it was like a month or two after, I was like really sitting down and trying to take some time. And I had already had a little bit of the idea of writing this book before we went on this trip, because we had actually, the roller coaster is based out of Hershey. It's based on Hershey Park's Super Duper Looper. But we originally went to Busch Gardens, Tampa, and there's a roller coaster called the Scorpion. We had originally gone there, and he was going to ride that coaster. They had just upped their height requirement from like 42 inches to 48, so we weren't able to ride. But that was really when I saw a lot of his anxiety about the roller coaster, which I think worked out that, you know, we took a few more months before we went to Hershey so he could kind of like prepare himself a little bit more. And I think that's why he was so much more comfortable when we went up there to ride the one at Hershey Park. And so I think it was just really cool to like put it all together. Like I said, I took a month, just kind of process the idea, and then honestly, I did it in my notes section of my phone, and I just wrote it that way. Like I said, I'm not a true author here.
Yeah.
But I just kind of worked through everything and played around with some words. And then, like I said, I took it to Between Friends Publishing. If you're familiar with them, that's who I used. Took the idea to them, and they were like, "Oh, we love this. This is a cute idea." And I had been looking for an illustrator, but when you research trying to write a book, you get a little nervous because you're like hearing these horror stories about people like stealing your information and like writing the book for you. And I just wanted somebody I could trust. So I asked them, you know, who they recommended, and my illustrator was Ivy Giddens. She also is local, and she just did a phenomenal job with it. I think she really, because I sent her a couple of ideas, but man, she just like, it was like she pulled everything out of my brain and just every idea I had, she just made it way better than what I could have ever imagined.
That's awesome.
So,
and that is so
yeah.
awesome when that happens. I love that. That's how it was with her and I, you know what I mean? Like, we have these ideas. I had some ideas. She had ideas, and we'd like come together and we'd like, what the heck?
Yes. Also, you're in great company with notes on the phone.
Yeah.
Because I have a whole list of band name ideas on my phone. Am I in a band? No. Do I play an instrument? No.
Yeah.
Are there hundreds of band name ideas in my phones and notes? Absolutely.
Yeah, my poor note section of my phone is like so long. I have to like really, if I need to look for something, I really have to search because there's a lot.
Yeah. Same exact thing here. I'm not claiming to be an author in any way, but I have ADHD and a very active imagination, and sometimes I can't sleep because of both of those. And I have so many books written in notes on my phone.
Yeah.
If I ever got good enough to just finish them, we might be millionaires. You never know.
There you go. Hey, I did a book signing with a lady, and she told me that she had like all these stories that she had written when her kids were small, and she had them like stashed like away in a box, and then she pulled them all out, and she's like releasing them back to back to back to back. I'm like, man,
Oh, that's cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I thought that was really neat.
I always kind of had that idea too. I was like, well, maybe when I don't have kids so much, you know what I mean, or when I have this. You never know.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're totally
It's
fine.
AMSR.
Sorry, I'm gonna leave the top off. Okay.
I know, it's my go, and I'm like
Oh, no,
spaced
you're
out.
fine, no.
It was because we skipped, and so then I'm sorry. But I have to work off an order, guys. So do you have any advice for people who, do have books written in their notes for the phone on how to get started, or what the best steps to take?
Yeah, I think just go for it. Like I said, this honestly, when I first had it in my notes section, I was thinking this is like super short, and I'm not going to be able to do anything with it, and just keep working on it, keep at it, because I kept adding more and more and had more ideas come about, and before you know it, it was a book. And like I said, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback. Somebody had posted a picture of my book in a forums page, and some lady, I don't know who she is, I mean, I've never met her, nothing, and she ended up posting that it was her kid's favorite book right now. Oh, and I mean, that just brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, that's,
Yeah,
if I'd
that's
never
so
gone
neat.
for it, that would have never happened. That's just so cool to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. It is a really cute book too. I highly
you.
recommend you guys come out and get it, The Big Loop, and read it to your kids, because it's fun. We had a good time reading it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's activities and everything.
Yeah.
So excited. We
It
were
was
we were sitting at Mellow Mushroom, kind of going over it together and looking at the photos and And I said, we had a long work day, and I said, okay, Sarah, I'm going to read the book, and then I'll read it, and you can listen. We can talk about it after. And Sarah goes, no, you're going to put me to sleep. It's like story time. She's like, let you read it, and then I read it. And we go, okay. So we're reading it. We're looking, and as we're flipping through, we're like, look at these little activities. Yeah. And that was awesome, because especially if you're on a car ride or you're hitting
Yeah.
posters on the road, that's awesome to have in there. What was your favorite childhood book?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
If you have more than one, that's okay.
I know, I feel like Rainbow Fish, that's always a good one.
Oh.
I don't know. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I don't know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the classics,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Give a mouse a cookie.
Oh my
I love that
gosh,
one.
yeah. I feel like give a mouse a cookie because I have ADHD. I related that book.
I know.
It's it's writing out my life story.
I know. I love that book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really felt encouraged to write the book, because I feel like when I was preparing for our experience to be able to go upside down on a roller coaster for the first time, you look out there on Amazon, wherever, and you just don't find a lot of books that are for a younger kid. Mm-hmm. A lot of the roller coaster books I feel like that are out there are more geared towards older kids, and the verbiage that she used is not easily understood, and that's really what I wanted to accomplish with this. So I feel like the earlier, they always say that the earlier you expose a child to something, the more comfortable they are with the idea of it. And I feel like maybe that would help a lot of people not be so anxious and scared of roller coasters,
Yeah, I love
absolutely.
that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Rogue. What's your favorite childhood book?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you.
Oh, gosh. On the spot. Oh, my gosh. Let me think. There's one that was written by, oh my gosh. I see, I'm having a brain fart because I'm on the spot, y'all. I swear, that's how my brain works. It's okay,
I know, me too, so
Well,
I
y'all put me on the
understand.
spot, so it's only fair.
Yeah, that's true.
I cannot think of the name, but it was written by Bette Midler. And it was about this little mouse that was looking for a strawberry or something like that.
I know what book you're
You know
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about, don't you?
Yes, I do know exactly what, but I could not think of the name of it, though.
And it was the way she does things and says things, she tells a story with everything already. So then it's funny, she's telling a children's story and you're so incredibly immersed in it. And it was there was dangers and all this little thing. One was this little strawberry, and then he finally got it, and he's like all like just engorged. Like one bite of a strawberry, he's like, oh, it's so good. And like the illustrations are just like so colorful and saturated and bright.
I know exactly what book you're talking about. That was one of my favorite books too, and I could not. And honestly, I was thinking if this question came back to me, I would be the same way. I'd be like, I can envision it, but I don't know the name of it.
Yes. Well, should I ask you what yours is?
I was a huge reader. Yeah. So at a young age, I was reading, Pokey, the Curious Puppy was like my favorite. I would read that over and over again.
So cute.
Yeah. And then there's one about and this is the one I can't think of the name, but it was like Nightmare, and it's about the little kid. They're like mice or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like afraid. He sees like a monster, but it's really just sticks. And the mom has to keep coming back and being like, no, it's not this. It's not this. It's, you know what I mean? And showing what it really is. He hears the wind howling and he thinks it's a monster howling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so those were, but I was reading like Gone with the Wind at a really young age.
That's awesome.
Dang, yeah.
I was like 7 or 8 and I started reading Gone with the Wind.
Dang.
So I passed by all the kid books pretty fast.
Oh, maybe that is it. Baby Divine?
Yes, that's what it's
Baby
called.
Divine.
Yeah, Baby
Divine. I love that book.
Yeah. And Aesop's Fables. I love those Aesop Fables. I don't know. I had a lot.
Yes.
I could go on and on.
Yeah, they're all really good. Mm-hmm. Gosh, now I'm getting all nostalgic. Well, is there anything that you would like to share with the class? Like anything that we haven't gone over yet, or anything that you would like to talk about you haven't had a chance to in other interviews and lectures up until now?
Let's see. Well, I also love doing photography. That's also something that's really interesting to me. Part of like my Instagram page. I love taking pictures of roller coasters.
That's awesome.
I feel like, especially with like people on them, because you get like those genuine reactions of people that like, you know, it's not posed, like it's just genuine happiness or nervousness or whatever.
True emotions.
Yeah, I love doing that.
I saw that on your Instagram pages, you know, your pictures of your roller coasters and your social media. I think we trolled Facebook first, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then Chris shared your Instagram. So then we trolled your Instagram.
It's okay. My Instagram, I just kind of made it to document like our travels with our kids and stuff like that. And I don't know, we got a okay following from it, which was pretty cool. I don't know, it's just something fun to like look back, and we try to get them to like give their reactions to certain roller coasters, and it's fun to like show them and let them watch the videos back and be like, wow, I used to think that was scary, and like now I've done stuff that's way scary, you know?
Yeah, that's cute.
So it's fun to look back and enjoy that. So
do you know how many theme parks there are in the world?
Well, there's a lot. We're on the chase. I mean, we count our roller coasters.
That's what's your number?
I'm at 387, I believe. And that's different coasters. My kids are like, my oldest is 144 in, and then my youngest, he's 4, and so he's been on like 93 different roller coasters. Yeah,
that's awesome.
We have a trip this weekend. We're going to King's Dominion. Y'all been there? King's Dominion? And then Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Yep. So we're going to go there with the kids. We're in a roller coaster group. So we're going with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to like maybe one day go with a roller coaster enthusiast group to a theme park, and then
it's the most fun.
Just record reactions, like just conversations, record those so that other people can kind of hear like how cool it is to be in a group like that. And
the energy is intense. Like it is just, it's so fun.
Yeah.
That's really what makes it, I feel like, is the people that you're around.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially loving the same thing you do. That's what makes it fun.
Yes. We were Chris and I were at Epic Universe a couple of weeks ago, and I love the people that, especially people that maybe are not sure someone's watching, because you know, you stand in line like you're talking about, you meet new friends and interact with people and have common ground, and then sometimes you'll see people and they're like, they'll lean over the tracks and they'll watch things, and they can see the mechanisms and how they work. And I've had people kind of look at me and say, this mechanism works like this, da 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 da, like totally unsolicited information, and I'm like, I am down for this. Tell me everything. I want to know everything. And I can't even remember who taught me, but I was in line at, or I was talking to someone who went on the Mummy.
It was me.
It was you.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, tell
my
the story. Look, see? Full circle, baby.
I was like, where is she going with this? I kind of have a feeling this is my story.
Beautiful woman that was like my best friend that was telling me this story.
My best friend.
Okay, good. I'm so glad it was you because you're right here.
I loved everything she said in that sentence, by the way. So we had gone to California Universal, and it was like right after they had just opened up the Mummy. I think it was like 2017-ish. And we were just standing in line, and like they just kind of pulled us out of line, and they were like, hey, do you want to go back and see how everything's done? We're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll do it. But we had Kingston, which at the time he was 6 or 7. I don't know, but he was too small to go on the actual ride. He couldn't go. So we were going to do like the changing out of the hands, you know? And so my daughter went on it twice. She went once with my ex-husband, no. And then once with me. And then we got to take turns standing up and watching the like mechanics of it and like the cameras. There's so many cameras you don't realize, and they have all the heat sensors, and they were describing how like with the heat sensors, like that's how they can test if like the roller coaster is like getting too hot or something like that, and then they like shut the ride down is because of that. The metal is they were just describing everything. It was a really neat experience. Like there's a lot that goes into these roller coaster rides that you don't think that they do. Probably especially the Mummy, because they had all the special effects. You know, they have the heat come at you, they have the wind come at you, they have, you know, the mummy ghost thing come at you, you know what I mean? So they have a lot of special effects going on. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. I wish I could understand the mechanics of it as an engineer to be able to then describe it all to you guys so well. But it was like nothing I had ever experienced before.
That's the kind of stuff my husband gets deep into. Like he loves that kind of stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm just here for the ride, but you know, he can tell you how every little thing works, and I just think that's so cool. I mean, it is very interesting, but it's above my head for sure.
Well, it makes me wonder too with like I just had this thought in my head. I'll probably Google it later, but it makes me wonder with all the hard work that goes into them if they do have like an Oscars or like an Emmy equivalent of other peers that are in the industry.
You know, I don't think they do.
They should. And
they don't really give any recognition, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my grandfather, he's gone now, he's passed, but he had a hand at, you know, putting together the Superman ride, you know, because he was a structural engineer. And I mean, I don't think he was part of the creative. I think he was just part of the mechanics of it. But you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think they do have any. That would be a fun something to get started.
Like if they had like a national one and then a global one.
The one in Anaheim, or the one in not Anaheim, Magic Mountain. Yeah. What is that town called? Why can't I think of it?
Valencia.
But it's not Valencia though. It's Santa Ana.
It's Valencia.
I don't think it's technically in. I grew up in California. It was like an hour away from me. I don't think it's technically in. I think it's in the Santa.
Chris just grabbed his phone and made this Jack Nicholson face because he's so excited to prove that he's right.
I know. Dang it, Joe. What is the town close to it, though? What is the town close to it?
No.
Look it up really quick. No, it's not. I think it's technically like not in the Valencia city. I know you just looked it up. I'm just telling you.
I think it's just in the surrounding areas of Valencia.
What is right there next to it? I gotta Google it. I gotta give this a Google.
Santa Clarita Valley.
Yeah, Santa Clarita Valley is where it's actually. So when I grew up in California, this is why I'm saying this. When I grew up in California, that is where it was. It was Santa Clarita. And Valencia was like a no man's town. It was nothing. It was just like. It was like Kathleen. You know what I mean? Like we're in Warner Robins, and it was like Kathleen. Like nobody even knew it existed. And then the mayor of Valencia went in They redesigned it and they literally turned it into like the Emerald City. It's one of the most beautiful cities that you could go to. Just really well like laid out, gorgeous streets as you're driving through. I mean, it's kind of like a Pasadena feel, you know what I mean? It just has like such a neat feel to it, but it's like modern. It's not Pasadena has like an old California feel, but and then I think Valencia got so huge, they must have stole the name because I grew up and it was Santa Clarita my whole life.
Well, that happens with like, you know, like Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta turns like the greater Atlanta area, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And now like Roswell is like,
Exactly.
you know, where I moved here from is like
that's exactly it.
considered part of Atlanta. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, Jan.
Yes. And that's how it is. Like when you're driving, one day you'll go with me when you're on the 5 because I want to go to Quicho's, which is in Valencia. Okay. And when you're driving, it's like you're heading towards LA, you're heading south. To the left of the freeway of the 5 is considered Valencia. And to the right was always considered Santa Clarita and Magic Mountain's to the right.
It's technically Valencia. I've been there. She's been there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Magic Mountain is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Decemberists have a song about Valencia, that band.
Mm-hmm.
My sister loves that band. And that's my contribution. You're welcome.
I don't care what you say. You didn't grow up there. It's like me trying to talk about Perry like I've been here my whole life.
It's not much to say, though. Not compared to growing up in California.
You win.
Oh my goodness.
We honeymooned at Magic Mountain. So.
Oh, what? So that makes you what? King of
Yes.
Magic Mountain?
That's a good
King of
honeymoon.
Valencia?
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Because it's Wally World. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Wally World on vacation.
Yeah.
Magic Mountain.
Okay. I've never heard of this. I mean, that's a vacation. I never really got into that movie.
Don't fall for it. It's a trap. Don't you dare, Sarah.
Oh, no.
Oh my
I let
God.
Chris down on a daily basis. It's more like that question that you asked earlier. Why are you friends with me?
No, just
That's how it is with me and Chris.
get ready for Chris to show you all the vacation movies.
Oh, there's only one of these.
Oh, there's only one vacation movie. The rest are.
I watched it when I was a kid, but then I don't remember. And the only thing I can honestly say that I remembered from the movie is where he's like up in the hotel room looking down at the chick in the pool.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember.
Waitress.
Oh, do you have like a favorite viral video of a roller coaster or like people riding a roller coaster?
I don't know. I think like right now there's a lot of like trends. Like I think it's always funny when you like there's one that's going on right now where like somebody looks back at the person who's recording and they have to keep like a straight face and they can't smile the entire time. Those are hilarious.
That'd be amazing.
Like I don't even know how you can do that because I
No.
have like okay, let me just say this. My husband has some pictures of me and they're completely embarrassing, but it's like a few of them where, you know, the roller coaster takes the picture of you.
Yes.
And it's like at the worst possible moment.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm like embarrassing.
All of mine, I'm always embarrassed.
It looks horrible. And I keep asking him, I'm like, please delete those. Please. Like, I don't know what he's waiting on with those things. They just need to go. But yeah, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they keep such a straight face, but those are pretty funny videos.
There was one, you just reminded me, I didn't even think of this one. There was one where this girl said, serving on every photo on Tower of Terror.
Oh.
So when it tosses you up and it takes a photo right before you go, every
they're, like,
time
doing-
she'd like do sunglasses or she'd Vogue or she'd like change her like little outfit to make him look like she was like a model. It was super cute. But my favorite is, I guess Kevin Hart openly hates roller coasters, like he's terrified of them. And there was a TV show host that like made him ride, and they recorded it. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, I think I did see that video.
That
He's like
one's
screaming his
good.
head off.
Yes. His
Yeah,
misery
that-
brought us
I do
joy.
think I've seen that one. It was funny.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I think it was Rip Rocket, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it was at
Yes.
Universal. Yeah.
Which is going away.
I know it is. You got to ride it while you can. What are they putting there? Do we know yet?
We haven't heard yet. I don't know. What I think somebody has said was maybe like a Minions roller coaster, but I'm like, I don't know about that. I feel like there's a good bit of Minions already there, but I mean, Minions are cute.
They are cute.
But
that's why I like the Orlando Universal community, because you have like these like optimistic, like positive, like it could be this.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, they're going to add to the Muppets realm, and I was like, that would be actually kind of cool. But I think they're turning something else into a Muppets ride.
the Aerosmith, yeah.
Aerosmith ride, yeah. So that'll be fun.
Softens the blow a little bit.
It does soften it a little bit.
I love Aerosmith and Muppets. So it's like, the more you know.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of comical, and I have to share it. I always point to my wrist to cue the manager to give me a time to see like where we're at with this podcast and what we need to.
Right now,
and it's really dark in here. His knee-jerk reaction was, which is something I would have done too, is he looked down at his wrist.
Well, where we're recording, we lost power because of the storm, so it's like pitch black in here. So we're all like, I feel like we're like a little campfire without the campfire.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Well, I think that's a wrap. I can't think of anything else that we have. How do you feel about it? Is there anything else that you want to share or anything?
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Where's the book available?
Book is
Good
available.
idea.
Yeah, good question. Book is available Amazon, Kindle, and then I also have a website called thebigloopbook.com.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
And are you advertising it on any of your socials?
I do have an Instagram page. You Give Me Thrills is the handle.
Nice.
So I also have a link on there as well.
Perfect. I love that.
Very cool. Well, definitely go check this book out. It would make a fantastic Christmas present.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Like
Thank you,
great
guys.
birthday present. Oh yeah, absolutely. Activities in the back, beautiful illustrations, beautiful story. It's really awesome. So we 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah, and we'll try to drop this one pretty fast, and then that way we can drop your socials. We'll advertise the book and everything like that, and kind of push out the sales. Hopefully,
Yeah, I appreciate
help
that.
you
Thank
out.
y'all.
Okay.
Thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah,
I've been
thank
excited to kind
you.
of share my story a little bit, so I do appreciate y'all allowing me to do that.
Yes, thank you so much, Kimberly.
Super exciting. All right, guys, that's a wrap.